Hey there, welcome back to the table. So we do actually have an errata from the last night's video. Apparently you're not an ally with yourself. So, for example, I'm able to heal one ally within range 3, and that means I cannot heal myself. And it's another dumb rule, but it apparently is the official rule. And I guess it would explain why, self is different than ally, or it could have just said any if that was the case. But yeah, so apparently you can't use ally on yourself. I guess in the grand scheme it makes sense. I'm not going to retcon it though. I know some of you might be like, well, now you got an asterisk on the whole thing. Look, these are beatable missions, folks. I mean, would it have been as easy? Because the thing is I healed myself when I really needed it. I would have just done something else. I don't want to go back and try to refigure all that out. There's two situations in this mission that I know that would have hurt. I used a move ability where I got to move two people, and I used one of those moves on myself. It was two allies I was allowed to move. So I just would have played a different card in that case. I would have achieved the same outcome, but some of the cards would have been different. And yes, some things may have been slightly different, but it's not worth losing sleep over. What you do is you just move forward, and make sure you move forward with the right things. Now, I addressed in the last video the issue with the focus. The viewer who originally pointed out that I was doing focus wrong gave a very lengthy focus lecture again, but I'm realizing that some of you aren't fully caught up on the videos, and so I did correct it, but of course, he's not caught up to the video where I actually corrected it, so I'm still getting more and more comments about the same thing. I can't go back in time and fix it. I probably should go back and at least put a note in so people can stop commenting, but it is what it is. I can make an errata video, which I sometimes do. I might do that. I don't know. So let's go ahead and just keep going. Again, I'm sticking to the principle of you're going to make mistakes when you play this game. This is a mega game. And just forgive yourself and move on. And I'm not forgiving myself here, as you could tell. But let's move on. And so the room is clear, and we need to get it done. So let's go get that door open. We are to the point where we need to rest with some of our characters, and that is going to create a potential issue. I'm looking at all my people need to heal, and the resting will definitely help there. So let's I'll do this to move 4, and this will let one of my summons move, and I get to control the move. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to do the 83. So hopefully we can open the door before they take their turn. Otherwise our summon's just going to sit there and spin. This is the character who lost their combat bonus, or the mission, or combat mission. Now somebody said that you could move the banners. I'm assuming you could move the banners because those are considered to be allies. Otherwise, I don't see how you can move a banner. The banner has no movement points. So whoever made that comment, if you want to clarify, I would appreciate it. They made it sound like I was not playing the game right. Right there, it doesn't say, it says no movement. Now, if it says you get to move an ally, I could see how you could move a banner that way, but gosh darn it, that would be very painful. Very painful. I don't see how you would move one of these and have it keep up with the party. But it is at least a decent point that they're not truly immobile, but they're mostly immobile. How about that? Alright, so this is the only card I have left in my hand, so I have to long rest. You must play 2 cards every turn. Okay, and then Blink Blade here. For sure, we're going to heal. And I don't even care what the top says. And we're going to go slow so he can get regenerate. So we'll do, I'm going to do 99. Alright, so who the heck is going to open this door then if I'm doing all this shenanigan stuff? I think it's going to be the Drifter, although the Drifter only has 4 health himself. I would swear I played this card. Maybe I changed my mind. I must have changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do that. The 2 movement and heal 2 self. And that's a 27. And then for the top, oh look, there's another heal. We're going to go ahead and just do a, you know why? I did play it. I picked up his discard pile. That's why. These are the cards that he has left. I was like, man, he's got a lot of cards left for someone who's never rested. Well, I can use one of these. Like, this would let me heal myself. You know, I get an extra 2 heal every time I do a heal. That's actually not awful. That's the thing. You could play like all these cards, and they're all burned. And then you have like all these little modifiers. It's crazy. I don't need this many. Let's just put it that way. I'm going to use this as my top. And we'll use... We're just going to do a move. A basic move with this. So I'll go ahead and punch in 90 there. I am going to open the door with that. So that is good. But I need to go before her at 83. So I'm going to punch in 70 instead. Alright, so let's go ahead and draw cards. Now you may notice I don't have glare today, but that's because I'm actually playing while there's daylight shining into the room, so I don't have my behemoth lights on. I usually play at the midnight hour, you know, because the work day is finally over and I finally get time. But I actually have time here in the mid-afternoon, so no glare. Isn't that nice? Here we go. So I did a draw cards. There's nobody to draw, so we're okay. So Drifter is going first at a 70, and I am going to use his token to get 4 movement, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and open that door. So all kinds of things happen. Let's see here. We need to do 75.1, which, if you look at this, 75.1 is that right there. We can open the section, and you can see we got ourselves 2 bosses that just entered the room. And I don't know if I was supposed to have these other... Like, I removed those other characters, and maybe it wasn't smart of me to do, because I'm willing to bet that there was supposed to be more creatures in that room. But we're going to find out. And let's do the... I can't even remember what it's called. The animation. The...
final group of guards dispatched. You move forward into the heart of the mountain. The central chamber opens like a cavernous maw. Ice and blood and bodies writhing in battle. In the center of the room hangs an enormous shard of pearlescent ice, and for a moment you simply stare at it. The shard rotates slowly in the air, held aloft by some otherworldly means. Clearly, a great power does reign here. Your Olgok's companion steps forward, drawing looks of both terror and relief from those already in combat. Her eyes move over the chamber floor and lock onto a large figure standing on the other side. A huge Olgox who has just emerged from another passage. The Ice Speaker Chieftain. He tilts his head back and releases a long, wild roar. The Snow Speaker Chief roars back and whips her staff through the air, firing a wicked bolt of blue energy that explodes just wide of the opposing chief, showering him in ice and blue aether. The 2 chiefs charge and crash near the center of the room, blasting open a gap in the battle. Both are clearly more skilled than the other fighters, and each moves with a surety gained from authority. The Snow Speaker cracks her staff like thunder, and the Ice Speaker bludgeons the air and ground with brutal strikes. You'll only get a few moments to observe the fight before you notice that several of the combatants are waiting to see what you do. There's no more waiting. If you're going to buy security for Frosthaven, you'll have to help finish this fight. It's time to pick a side.
Okay, so I'm supposed to pick a side. My only gripe here is I don't know what each side means. Like, maybe that's the intent, is you're not supposed to know what each side means, but like, okay, do I pick one dude or the other? I have no idea. That's the only thing that bothers me here. Yeah, so that's it. Alright. And then it says if the Snow Dancer is dead, read 15.2. If the Frozen Fist is dead, read 22.1. Obviously, we don't have either of them dead yet. And it's not just that they're dead, I have to also get them to half health, the other one. So even though I'm picking a side, I'm still attacking one of them. It's a little weird. So let me move these cards out of the way. And we're going to get this dude out. And basically it's going in like so. I think what happens is it still plugs in here, but the door is there. So, and I'm standing on the door at the moment. Okay, let's set up the room. Alright, first things first, we have treasure chest right here. And then this big ice crystal right here. And I actually have this backwards. This is supposed to be, I hate doing this, because I had it plugged in so nicely. It's actually ice. Somebody will complain. Alright, treasure chest here, this there, and then this boss is here, and this one is down here. Now, I don't know how these guys play, because they're actually characters that we're going to get to unlock later in the game. I don't know if by choosing a side, the other character is never unlocked. I mean, that stuff's going through my head. I think it's a cool way to introduce characters in the game, instead of like what Gloomhaven did. But basically, I'm choosing might versus magic. I mean, that's really the choices that are before me. And interestingly enough, this guy is closer, so it's natural that you would kill this one before you would kill that one. Now, with that being said, it basically states that the Frozen Fist, which is this guy, and the Shadow Dancer are enemies to both me and each other. So that means that when they're calculating focus, they may calculate each other. And then, of course, we're drawing a separate boss monster ability card for each one. All other monsters cannot focus on or target either boss in any way. There's no other monsters on the board, so that part is interesting. There is no more monsters, so that means the Drifter did not kill an archer. At least I don't think he did. Well, actually, he did, didn't he? Because he came up. So as long as the Drifter kills a boss, he's actually going to succeed at this. Okay, all right. Let's keep it going. Everybody else is this one is complete. This was Blink Blade. So we successfully did that one. So I'm turning it over to show that it succeeds. And I don't have the collect 3 or more loot tokens one. Okay, so we just did this is for a basic move, and then we have this attack which I can't use, but I do have. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I actually do have one more movement point I can use, and then it means I won't be able to loot. But I think I'm okay with that. So if I move one more to here, I can then use my spear, which gives me +1 range on melee, and I can attack this one. My problem is the drifter is down to 4 health, so I don't know how much I want to be eager to go into that room. I'm thinking. You know what? I'm actually going to move backwards with that extra movement and just stop there. And so I will do that, and I'm going to let them beat on each other for a while, and I'm going to take this loot token. Alright, so with the loot token, he gets 2 coins. And remember, each coin is worth 2 each, so that's actually translates to 4 coins. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that was a good one to get. Alright, his turn's over. Now, we have to go back because the Frozen Fist had a initiative of 14. Look at him, he's got 60 health. So his special... Alright, I guess I gotta go find the cards. I don't know what Special 2 means. Or Special 1. Bear with me, I don't even know where these cards are. That would be boss cards. Okay, so here's the cards. And there's multiple of these because, as you can tell, it's based on the monster level. We're doing level 1. And basically, it looks like he's putting Frost on the board when he does his thing. And there you can see how the 60 hit points was calculated and the damage. So he does 8 damage every time he hits. He hits 3 targets. Holy cow, these guys are never going to be this strong if we actually control these characters. And then this one, C times 12, so yeah, 48. A little bit less damage on this one. So the movement is a little better. The attack... Oh, these are the specials. Okay, that's what I'm getting at. Alright, so we have Special 2 for Frozen Fist. So he's going to shield up, have 1 extra movement, and he hits 3 targets. That's his Special 2. Otherwise, he just does normal. Alright, I'm on board. And then it says, yeah, he's immune to everything. So, but take note, poison's not up here. So he can be poisoned. But he's immune to curse. This one is immune to poison and wound, but maybe not immune to other things. Let's see, he can be muddled, but that's about it. Okay, so yeah. This one puts ice on the board, and that one consumes the ice. Alright. Well, here we go. Frozen Fist is first. So he is going to do his special movement too. So he's going to shield up, and then he gets +1 movement. So normally he has 3 movement, so he'll have 4. And then he's going to attack 3 targets if he can. There's only 1 target in his range. But this is going to be interesting. So what he's doing is he's going to move 1, 2, and I guess we get to choose which way. So I'm going to choose this one, because that gets him closer to having multiple targets. And yeah, so now we're going to go grab a monster attack here. And he just drew a doubler, which was fantastic timing, because it's not against us. He's attacking the other boss. So he normally does 8 damage, and that now becomes 16 damage to the Snow Dancer. Holy cow. So it started at 48, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 32 sounds about right. So the Snow Dancer is well on his way either towards dying or being half dead, which is our goal. And like I said, the Drifter finished his turn. So now it's the Snow Dancer's turn. And the Snow Dancer is going to do their special one. So let's get that back out. The Snow Dancer special one is they're going to do this. It's a range attack. And then of course his focus is going to be the boss. So the bosses are going to be busy with each other for a while here. And in some respects, you can just sit back and let one of them kill the other. Now, what it will do is it will move away far enough so it doesn't have disadvantage. So I'm going to move it backwards. There is no way that it could hit its target and us. So, like, even though it's trying to hit multiple targets, it's a single target, but just it's got an area of effect. It's really the way to put it. And then he's going to muddle the Frozen Fist. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now and put muddle on the Frozen Fist. But yeah, he does an attack -1. So normally his damage is 5, 4 plus 1. And then, but this is a -1, so it's going to come back to a 4. So he's going to do a 4 damage attack against the Frozen Fist, who has shields. So I don't know. The Frozen Fist is looking like he's winning this fight pretty handily. So let's go ahead and do it. There's a +1, so that's 5 damage, -2 shields. The Frozen Fist is going to take 1, 2, I'm sorry, I'm going the other way, 1, 2, 3 damage. He's at 57 out of 60 health. Holy cow. It will be nice. We need to poison the Frozen Fist to get his health down, for sure. Alright, so then after that, we got the Shambling Skeleton. Gets to go, so the Skeleton will move 2 spaces, and then the Bone Shaper goes, and as we said, we're going to move 4, and then the Skeleton's going to move again, and none of this matters. So I just dropped a couple things. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and move the Skeleton. It's 2, and then we're going to move 4. I'm going to move 3 and just pick up that loot right there, and then stop. And let's go ahead and see what the loot is. We get a medal. And I know viewers keep commenting because like I wasn't grabbing the loot as I drew them. And they kept saying, you know, you can get an item and you can use it in the same mission. These items so far have stunk. And just adding that rule to the game as all it did was slow the game down. For me, it didn't add any value to put that in, because that is a difference in Frosthaven from Gloomhaven, but it's okay. We will get over it. We are fine. Next up is the Blink Blade, and Blink Blade is not going to move, but instead is going to heal himself and put Regenerate on. And then no, we're going slow. Never mind. And that's it. So for Blink Blade, he's actually up to full health. And the Regenerate is not necessary because he's at full health. I mean, obviously, if he takes damage, he's going to lose the Regenerate. So, you know, was it necessary? No, it wasn't. But it is nice to have full health before they run into this room, because these bosses are not to be trifled with, that's for sure. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do about these bosses. I definitely need to be in that room and gang up on them, and going in one at a time is not the way to do it. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the round, and so we're going to go ahead and keep rocking and rolling. There's only 2 cards left for the Bone Shaper. It doesn't matter which one we use. I'll figure it out later. I'm going to just punch in the 26 for now. The only thing that mattered is I need my skeletons to keep moving. And then for the, oh, I forgot the Banner Spear. just long rested, so we gain 2 health there, and then we have to burn a card. So, given the situation, this heal oneself is going to be useful against these bosses. I think this is going to be useful against the bosses to be able... Well, no, they can't be wounded. So I need to maybe consider getting rid of that. This one, I don't need it. I mean, the going early part would be nice, but I don't need anything else. I do need that really bad. Like, I don't need the push. The javelin's good, though. So I think it would be nice to be able to move 4 spaces. I got other things like this that lets me move 4. I'm going to burn this card. It's a good card, but it's not the best. So that is the second burn card. And then now for this turn, what do we do? Well, I do want to enter the room. So I am going to spend a 4 movement here. A 67. And that lets me go late. And then I do think I can't drop a banner because that's also on the bottom. So what can I do? This one causes me damage. I don't want to do that. Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to do the... I'm going to heal myself. But I'm going to go late. So I'm going to go with 67. Alright, 67. Done. Next up is... Blinkblade has to rest. Now, he's full health, so I don't need to long rest. The shield is the only thing that's been used, although the shield would be valuable. I can afford to short rest with Blinkblade, so I think I will in this case. And so this is the card. That heal was nice. But we can't wound these bosses, so I'm okay with that one. We'll burn that, and then let's go ahead and take his turn. So we are 3 spaces away from entering the room. I have the ability to go fast. This would be suicide, to run up to them and start fighting them. This one would be 7 movement, which would help because I need to go get this treasure before those bosses kill themselves. It's a burn, though. I'm burning the card, and I'm getting rid of my 4 attack one. 7 movement is nice. Although just moving 3 or whatever is probably fine. I actually think this is a good candidate for the Drifter because he gets the +2 movement to all of his movements. So Blinkblade does not need to be the one that goes and gets that treasure. So then what will he do? Here comes the question. I don't need to heal myself. And like I said, I'm trying to go fast this round. A range attack would be nicer than running in and getting focus. So that would let me move 5 spaces. Sure, we'll do that. And then we will do... maybe that one? Yeah, we'll do that. Do I want him to go early? I don't. I don't want to go early, so I'm going to... It's a 17 or a 20. I guess I don't get much choice there. I guess I'll make it a 20. Alright, and then the Drifter. So, like I said, I could move extra spaces with the Drifter, especially since the Drifter is low in health right now, only at 4. So I'm going to basically do the bottom for a basic and the top for real. And I'll go ahead and make that an 89. And then the drifter is going to have to rest after this. Alright, so then we're going to go ahead and draw cards. And you can see Frozen Fist is going early with a 17, and he's doing special 2. So going back to Frozen Fist, his special 2 is the same thing he did before. He wants to hit 3 targets, and we're doing a good job of staying away from him. And he's going to go in with a shield 2. He's shielding up, and once again, he's running in on the other boss and causing a lot of problems. So here we go. Draw. -1 this time, so that is a 7 damage hit. So the Shadow Dancer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 1 health away from being at that 50% threshold. We need one to die and the other to be at 50%. Now, obviously, this one could be the one that dies, but then we gotta, get the other one down 50%. So I don't know. I'm sort of like having this twisted logic going on in my head. I mean, this Frozen Fist is clearly dominating over the other one. But there's something that tells me that if we could somehow save the other one, it's going to be a better character for us to play. And I can't imagine that the designer built characters that aren't going to be fun to play. But for whatever reason, I feel like I need to protect the boss who's getting pummeled right now. and maybe in your game that it's like there's a big role reversal going on. Oh, I forgot. There is muddle. So we do a -1 and another -1. So there's no change to the outcome there. But this guy was muddled, and so we're going to go ahead and get rid of the muddle. Okay. Alright, so his turn's over, and now it is Blink Blade. And Blink Blade, like we said, was going to move 5 spaces. So he can go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to be in the mess now. And then we're going to go ahead and do a 4 damage attack. And if he doesn't have poison, he can gain poison to add 1 target for 1 experience. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't necessarily want to gain poison. The cool thing about poison, though, is that the regen that he has would actually make it go away. Because the regen only goes away if he takes damage. The poison does not damage him. But the moment that he receives any healing, the poison goes away. So the regen, even though he's full health, would actually heal the poison. But that would assume that he doesn't take a hit. Now, the Frozen Fist went earlier, so he will not be the focus unless he does his big thing that hits multiple targets. It's a bit risky, and I don't necessarily need to hit both bosses. I think this one's doing a good enough job of killing that boss. So I want to go after this guy because he's a problem. And so we're going to do 4 damage attack against him. I'm going to give myself advantage. And then I'm also going to poison him because he's not immune to poison. And then I'm going to use my renewing potion to get them back. In fact, I'm not going to get back the poison dagger. I'm going to get back the spyglass and my shield. I'm going to renew those two. Alright, so here we go. We're going to do a 4 damage attack against that boss with advantage. I'm making sure I don't need to shuffle. I don't. Here's the first one. We got a +1 and a +1. So that's 5 damage. The guy has shield 2. That makes it worse. So 1, 2, he only took 3 hits. But he is poisoned now, which means he's going to take extra hits from here on out. And that's the key to bringing down those big guys. You always want that extra +1. Okay, Blinkblade's turn is over. He's in a bit of danger, but we're going to give it a go. The skeleton moves 1, 2. And then the Bone Shaper. Like I said, we were going to just do whatever we can here. And you can see I'm basically just choosing what to do. So I'm going to use the 3 movement on the bottom and the top I'm basically going to have to pass. So that's fine. It's just another turn to move, and I also get another loot. Although I'm not going to get that combat objective, I'm still at least grabbing as much loot as I can. And the loot that we drew this time was another 2 coins. So that is 4 monies with the Common Core math. Alright, Bone Shaper's turns over. So now this one's going. And I guess I could have paid attention. We already see it's going to move 3 spaces, and it's doing a melee attack of 5. Now that melee attack is going to be against the other boss, because the other boss is just as close, but had the higher initiative. So it's just going to do a 5 damage attack against this guy. Nothing special. It does turn into a 6 because this guy's poisoned. And so let's go. And then it becomes a 7 damage. Now remember, he has a shield too, so that becomes 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got him down to 49 health. That's the way to do it. Alright, so let's keep going. Now we got the Banner Spear and then the Drifter. So the Banner Spear has a move of 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to heal 2 and put Regenerate on somebody. So the Banner Spear is at 5 health. I'm going to go up to 7. And I'm actually going to put Regenerate on the Drifter. Where are you? So he'll start healing. And his turn's over. That was a good move, even though I didn't actually damage anybody. And then we got the Drifter. So we're going to use our move thing, basic move, and we're going to add 2 to it. So we're actually going to move 4 spaces, and then we're going to move both of the things backwards. So this one will move forward to give me an experience point, and then I'm going to move it backwards. And this one has nowhere to go backwards, so that's a little bit of a waste, but that's okay. We gained an experience point, and we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4. And we do gain a health because of his Regenerate, and that puts him to 5 out of 10, and we're going to have him well on his way to go down and get that. Alright, that's the end of the round. Okay, I got to be careful, because if that Frozen Fist goes early, he could be targeting us instead of the other boss. So we do have to decide here. Yeah, it's going to be interesting decisions. Okay, first thing, the Drifter is out of cards. The shield is used, but everything else is not. So I think now he could use the health, but because he has the regen, I'm thinking I'm not going to long rest this time, because I need to get that loot and I want him to go in and kill a boss. There's a lot he needs to do. So I guess I am short resting, even though, that's not my preference. And then the Bone Shaper needs to rest. It has 4 health, and I am going to long rest with the Bone Shaper, because there's no rush with her. Everybody else, let's figure it out. Okay, so for this person, I am in the room, so I would like to put down the banner that heals. So I'm going to drop a banner, and then I'm going to throw a javelin. Now this one would be nice, except I can't wound. That one's nice, but I'm taking a damage for each ally whose hit point value increased. So that means every ally that accepts the healing, I take a damage. That's where the regen would have been nice for me. I'm at 7 health. Blink Blade's full health. Yeah, I don't need to do that. I really don't. I'm going to do the javelin. So how early do I want to go? I'm going to go ahead and punch in 18. we're going to go early. Now, Blinkblade is going to use another fast because we got to get out of there. And so we got a 2 move 3 attack, which isn't bad. And then I would need to move out of there. Like, this is a really nice one because you go mobilize somebody, but then you got to move away. Now, mobilizing them is great, but unless you're moving away, that's not necessarily a good thing. I mean, I could immobilize them and then do a 2 damage attack and then move away and not do the 3 damage one. Can they be immobilized? That's right. Frozen Fist is immune to immobilization. The other one's not, though. This one gives me Pierce, which could be good. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that one for 24. And then along the top, actually, I wanted to do that one for the top action because then I get 2 attacks in. But the bottom action is not bad. Not at all. So I think I could do this one where I attack both bosses. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm going to make it a 24. I don't want to go too early because then I get focused. But if I go too late, then I get focused. Yeah, I know. That's the tough part about this. We'll put in 24. I'm running the risk of getting focus here. And then, like I said, the Drifter is going to rest, as is the Bone Shaper. But we're going to short rest with the Drifter. So I got to shuffle here. And we're going to draw our card. I'm okay with losing that card. Done. So now we're going to pick our 2. And I don't want to burn cards just yet. That's a nice heal. But I need to move. That one moves and then heals myself. Now, I know I gave him the regenerate, so he's going to be healing anyways. But this is a great card. So we're going to go ahead and do that to move. And then for the top. Yeah, we'll go ahead and use this. Get it out of the way. And I'm going to go with 89. Alright, so let's draw our cards. And look at that. They're both going before any of us. They're even going before the Banner Spear. So Frozen Fist is doing special 2 again. So the only good news here is Blinkblade and the other bosses next to him. But, oh no, he's targeting 3. So Frozen Fist is going to hit both of them. Oh no, this is bad. This is very bad. So he's going to target both of us. Blinkblade has a shield, and that's all he's got to help himself out here. Yeah. Alright, well, let's do the attack. So as you can see, Frozen Fist is going to do an 8 damage attack. He's shielding up again, so he's going to have 2 shields. And that's it. There's nothing extra to it other than he's targeting 3 people if he can. And in this case, he's going to target 2. So my only decision is, do I have him hit Blinkblade first or the other boss first? So I might as well, let's just take our punishment. Let's do us. Yes! Oh, I did not win the Mega Millions last night. It was somebody in Maine. They won $1.34 billion or something like that. One person in Maine. And I know they don't actually get that much money. They're going to get a lot less. But it's still more money than some of us are ever going to see in a lifetime. Even after all the taxes and stuff come out. Is this a small compensation for not being lucky enough to win that money? But I got lucky enough to get this. Somehow I don't feel vindicated, but I will take it. All right, this was fantastic. He missed. Okay, so now he's going to attack the other boss, and there it is. So he's going to do 8 damage to the other boss. So we get this guy out, and he's definitely below half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in fact, he's at the point now where he needs to stop worrying about us completely. Alright, so now it's the other boss's turn, and he's going to do special 2. And let's go make sure we understand what that is. Special 2 is a +1 damage attack. So instead of 5, it's going to be 6 damage. And yes, he's going to go after 2 targets, a range of 4, and then he's going to push them away. Now, his movement is 3. So he is going to pull this off. So he's going to go 1, 2. So he was able to avoid disadvantage. And yeah, he's attacking Blink Blade as well. The push 2 isn't going to do him any good, because... Or no, he's going to push them away. Okay, yeah. And then, amazingly enough, we've never put ice on the board, so he's not using the ice to immobilize us. But yeah, so this is a 5, 6 damage attack against both bosses. And, I'm sorry, against the boss and against Blink Blade. So we're not out of the woods yet. I really was hoping that we didn't draw that one, but we did. So now what do I want to do? Me or him first? I'm going to choose him first this time. Let's see if my luck stays. So we're going to do the other boss. Alright, so that's a 6 damage attack. He does have 2 shields, but the poison makes it 7. So that's going to be 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's down to 44 health. And then us. Come on. 7 damage attack against Blink Blade, who has 8 health. So that means it's time to burn a card. And I got the card in mind I want to burn. It's going to be this one. So we're going to burn another card to block that damage. Not much I can do there. That was a big hit. So then we get pushed 2 spaces away. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, like so. So he basically cleared the room a little bit, give himself some space. And it also means that this guy's not going to focus on him anymore. But we're not done. Okay, so Banner Spear is next. We have our little banner we're going to drop. We get 2 experience points for that. And I'm going to drop it right here. So that gives, let's see, 2 experience, 1, 2, and the banner could die, but it'll at least absorb a hit for us. At the start of their turns, allies within range 3 get +1 health, and then we do have a javelin, which right now is disadvantaged because I was not expecting to be right next to the boss, and it's going to put wind on the board. So let me do that. And so yeah, now I got a disadvantaged attack against the boss. So let's resolve that. Oh, I was getting ready to draw from his deck. So here's the first one. We got a -1 and a -1. So it all worked out. So that means it becomes, basically it cancels out the poison. So it's still a 3 damage attack, but he's got 2 shields. So we just did 1 hit to him, and that's it. Alright, done. Next is the Blink, Mr. Rapture himself. So the thing was, is we thought we were going to be attacking both bosses. Now we're only attacking one. And I am going to... See, the problem is I have to move first if I want to get the... This would pierce 2. That would pierce his shields. But then, if I want to do this attack, I can't move. So now I'm agreeing to stay next to that boss. So I will. I'm going to stay next to the boss. I'm going to give myself the pierce 2. It puts wind on the board, funny enough. And I'm going to have 3 damage attack with advantage, and I'm going to gain 1 experience. So let's get a couple things out of the way. The 1 experience, first, and then we're going to do the advantage draw. So there's a +0 and a +0. So no real advantage there, but it fully pierces him. So it's 3 damage, +1 for poison. So we just did 4 damage to this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not even at halfway, but we did get him whittled down. And then, like I was showing before, we're going to do the move with this one. We're going to do the move and then the heal. And then we're going to just move backwards 1 slot. So, the cool part about that is I don't know how this moved up so much. I moved it the wrong way, or I bumped it. So we're going to do the move and then back a slot. So Drifter's going to get another experience point, and then we are going to go 1, 2, 3 and get this loot, whatever that happens to be. And let's solve it right now. It says 70. So I'm excited. Let's go to 70. '70 is gain the Horn of Command blueprint, 076. Alright, I don't precisely know where my blueprints are stored. 1 second. Alright, it took me a little bit, but I found it. And here it is, 076. And so it looks like, and I totally forgot already, do I need all 3 or do I just need one of the 3? I can't remember. I think I need all 3. I'll look it up before I ever have to build one. But so basically I can craft this item, and during one of my summons I can decide how it performs its abilities. So I can tell it how to move. This is actually really good for like the Bone Shaper or somebody who does summons. Now I gain the blueprint, which means I don't actually get the item. At least I don't think I do. So I'm going to just put that into my crafting pile, and because usually that's what gaining the blueprint means, but let me actually check. Yes, we did it correctly. We don't get a copy, it just goes into the craftable section. So it's a decent item for the Bone Shaper. Also, I had asked this question in a previous video, but remember I have 2 of these items that have this little picture. The answer to that question is you can have as many items with the little bag here as half your current level. So if you're level 1, and it's rounded up, so you can carry 1. When you get to level 2, you still can only carry 1. So it's not until you get to level 3 that you can carry 2 of these. So I did have it correct where, it was a lucky dice or these wild growth seeds. So the seeds are, of course, not being used. Oh, excuse me. I am suddenly tired. Okay, that brings us to the end of the round. I think I forgot to heal, so I'm going to go up to 6 there. Oh, and then I actually healed 2 more because of my card. So I'm actually up to 8 with the Drifter, which is fine. That's what we wanted. We're going to go ahead and end the round, and we start again. Alright, I forgot the Bone Shaper needs to figure out what card she's going to get rid of. I think we're going to get rid of this one. I already have the guy poisoned I want to poison, and it's not generally helpful for this particular final mission. So I can't curse them. It might be nice to get rid of some of those. But let's figure out what we're going to do here. I think we want to get some more summons on the board. I am not at full health. I guess I am because I rested. So now I'm back up to full health. So I can get some more skeletons on the board, which is not a bad thing. Or I can get that Wraith on the board. Actually, at the moment I can't, because this card is currently in play for the Wraith. I played the bottom half of it. Yeah, we're going to get a skeleton on board. We're going to do the one, since I can't curse them, we might as well do that one. That's a 71. And what are we going to do for the bottom? I can grant an ally 5 damage. It's time to burn, baby. We're near the end. We grabbed the treasure. We just got to win. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we'll do a... We're going to go as early as we can, which is not very early, of 71. Done. I really do like the fact that there's no glare on the app, and I apologize. It just, in my current age, I'm blind as a bat, and I need, like, floodlights in my house, especially when I'm playing board game and reading all the tiny text. So, you know, it's not perfect. I don't have a studio. I'm not, you know, I don't have Patreon supporters. You know, I think sometimes we get spoiled because some of these YouTubers are really elaborate. I don't have any of that stuff. So it is what it is, and I just have lights that are above me, and they happen to shine directly onto this app. For the most part, you don't notice it because, you know, sometimes you'll see glare on the board game components, but they shine perfectly onto this table for me. But yeah, the app and whatnot will definitely bring up the glare. Okay, so we are next to this guy, and we need to skedaddle. So, this would be a great one, except wounding them doesn't really work. So I'm thinking what I want to do is let's summon a reinforcement, which would let me then do a pincer type of movement. That would be nice. 60 and 69 means I'm going to get hit. That's my only issue. And I'm at 7 health here. Sorry, I ended up taking a phone call there. I'm going to choose this one because even though I can't wound him, I can easily get that set up right now. In fact, I have that set up exactly right now. So I will do this one for the attack. And then for the bottom piece, I will summon the reinforcement. And so we're going to go ahead and do a 32 there. And yes, I am taking the gamble of being attacked. That other boss is actually going to wreck us if it does that area of effect spell. Not a big fan, of course, of that. At the moment, I have to go slow with Blink Blade, which is also going to hurt. So for example, I can use this one to move 3 spaces, and then the top one to immobilize him, but I only do 2 damage if I do. But that's all I got, and I only have 1 card left in my hand after this. Blink Blade took a big hit there, so yeah. So we're going to put in 66 for him, and that's going to give us a fast token. And then the Drifter can now finally get in, and we do want to come up and wreck this guy. So I am going to do a burn. I know that's a range attack, but I'm still going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and burn on the bottom. And then on the top, we want to do a melee. And I'm going to go ahead and do as big of a melee as I can, which is this one. It is a late go, though, with 65 and 70. Yeah, I don't really have that much of a better option. I guess I could use one of my lower number cards and just do a basic attack. You know what? I will. I'm going to go ahead and take the 65 away. I'm going to do this so it's a 23. That does mean I'm getting into the fray quicker. And it also means I'm probably going to get hit with his... I'm going to attack 3 targets. So what we don't want is we don't want special 1 for the Snow Dancer, and we don't want special 2 for the Frozen Fist. And watch that be exactly what he draws. Nope. Hey, we got what we wanted. Although he's going to stun whoever the Frozen Fist attacks is going to stun somebody. Alright, the Drifter's first. So because he has the regen, he's going to gain a health. And then we're going to move 4 spaces and then do a range attack. So the 1, 2, 3, I'm going to just stop right there. And we're going to do a disadvantaged range attack against this guy who does not have his shields for a change. So here's the first one. And then here's the second one. So we got a -1. And I need to get some of this stuff out of the way here. There we go. So we got a -1. So that's a 2 damage. And since he's poisoned, it becomes 3 damage against the Frozen Fist. 1, 2, 3. And I might be crazy, because like I like these big brute types. Like I like tanky characters. I think some of these guys get too cute. But there's just something in me that's like, you know what, he's dominating. So I'm going to try my hardest to let the weak guy win. We'll see how this plays out. I may have made a big mistake, but I'm assuming that since the designer really didn't give us much morality on which side to choose, like I don't even know which side represents what. I'm pretty sure the designer is okay with us going either way. Okay, so that's done, and then we're going to that used a movement, and then we're going to do a melee attack, which uses that. So that gives us 2 experience, 1, 2. And then I'm going to use the basic melee for 2 damage, and then I turned it into 4. So here we go. Do I have anything to use here? I don't. Actually, I have this, which allows me to stand 1 space further away from him. But it's okay. I already made my commitment. And there we go. So I just did 4 more damage. Actually, it's 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this behemoth is now down to 31. He's not even halfway. But we're whittling him away. Okay, next up, after him, is the Banner Spear. And so the Banner Spear, we got the same deal. We're going to do a 3 damage attack because we got the 2 people. And then I'm going to summon the reinforcement. And I also gain 1 health because that banner is there. So I'm going to gain a health because of that. So let's get our reinforcement down. That's going to give us an experience. And then that gives us an experience. And then we'll go ahead and do the attack. Alright, so the reinforcement I'm actually going to put behind me and out of the way. Actually, that I think is going to make him get the focus, which, yeah, we're going to have to just deal with it. 2 experience points, and then the attack. I can't do anything to boost my attack, and there it is. We just drew a doubler. Excellent. So that was a 3 damage attack that turns into 6, and then the poison makes it actually 8, because that poison gives us +1 to our damage, and the doubler doubles the poison damage. So that makes it 8 damage. That's excellent. And I'm shuffling the deck here. So I wanted to make sure, and I, was glad I did, although all I did was confirm my logic. So basically, you add up all the modifiers, which includes poison, and then you draw from the combat deck. So that draw from the combat deck is one of the last things you do. So the doubler is doubling the poison. So I'm doing a 3 damage attack with the poison. It becomes a 4 damage attack, and then it gets doubled. So that's why I'm doing 8 damage against this guy. And he doesn't have his shields or anything up, so he's really going to take 8 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now he's down to 23. And of course, none of us are getting out of his way. That's the only issue that's going on here. We were doing great otherwise. So the Snow Dancer is going to do a move 3 and then a melee attack of 5. So you can see here that we have 2 of these, and which one has the initiative? Which one goes first? Your guess is as good as mine. You could argue that the one that was put into play first goes first. because like when you do your skeletons, they're numbered 1, 2, and 3, and then you basically, you know, your skeletons are going to go in that turn order. So let's just do that. So that means this guy is going to go up and attack the banner. So this is going to be a 5 damage attack. That's more than enough to kill the banner. And he drew a doubler. So you know what? I'm okay with that. He can beat that banner to death. That's better than us getting beaten to death. So the banner is destroyed. It healed exactly one person. I guess I got 2 experience points out of the deal. And it did absorb a hit, a very major hit. That was a 10 damage hit. So I guess I'm not going to complain. That was good. Alright, now we move on. It's Blinkblade's turn, who's standing back there. And I actually have everything set up for a pincer, which, if everything can stay this way for the next turn. Okay, Blinkblade. I think is going, yeah, we're going slow, if I remember correctly. So we were going to do a 2 damage attack and immobilize him, and then move 3 spaces away. So nothing really exciting or earth-shattering there. The 2 damage attack becomes a 4 damage because of poison and that draw. So Frozen Fist is now 1, 2, 3, 4. He's down to 19 health. He's immobilized. No, he can't be immobilized. That's right. I forgot. And I get to move 3 spaces. I don't know exactly where to move, so I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm at a point now where I know this guy's not going to attack 3 people at once, at least not this turn. So I'm not worried about that. And now the Bone Shaper gets to go. So the skeleton moves 1, 2. And we have another skeleton we're going to summon. So I'm going to take 2 health off and create another shambling skeleton. So that goes into play. And it's going to have 1, 2, 3 health, 2 movement, 2 attack. And it's number 2 here. And then all that's right. We're going to grant an ally a 5 damage attack and burn the card. Because we're at that, it's the season to burn. And so I'm going to grant that to the Drifter, who's then going to use his marker to add 2 more and make it a 7 damage attack. So, neener. Let's go. Let's get that doubler. That one works. That makes it an 8. And then a poison makes it 9. So the Frozen Fist is going to get hit for 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, well, we got the impossible is happening here. We're going with the weak guy, and taking down the strong one. That brings us to the end of the round. This guy's down to 10 health. Let's finish him off. Let's go as fast and hard as we can. Alright, so we got 2 cards here. I think I want to go at an 18. So I'm going to grant myself and the summon 2 movement points. And then we're going to do a 4 damage attack. That's a 4 damage attack for me, though. Yeah, that doesn't work. This one grants or summons attacks, but the curse won't happen, but the extra attacks will. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do it. Let's like I said, we're going all in. 18. Okay, and then the Banner Spear has Pincer, so we're going to go 22. And then Blinkblade actually has to rest, so I'm going to go 99 for him. And that's probably why I should have moved away. I didn't think about that. So, let's see. Yeah, I could retcon that. I could move 1, 2, 3 away and just get out of harm's way. Didn't even contemplate the fact that he has to rest. Now, you could say, hey, you're trying to kill this guy, and, why not short rest? Partly because Blink Blade can't go very fast. So he has fast versus slow abilities, but the fast abilities are still not low numbered. It's okay. Basically, that's my answer to you. It's okay. We don't need them. At least I don't think we do. And then for the bottom, I can do an attack or an attack at the top. So like this is a good one, but I'm going for the low number. So yeah, so we're going to go 14 and 65. And I need the Drifter to finish him off in order to accomplish my objective. So let's see how this plays out. So we're going to go ahead and draw our cards. And you can see Shadow Dancer's going early, and he's doing the freaking AoE thing, which is not good. But the Drifter goes first. And so here's what I'm going to do. I am actually going to do this for a 1 damage attack against him. But I'm going to make it 3 damage because of this. So that's going to give me an experience point. And here we go. Nothing I can do to boost it. And there it is. I just drew a doubler. So now that became 6 damage. Actually, no. That became 8 damage because he was poisoned. So we got this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so he's down to 2 health. And then I'm going to do the top half, but I'm going to do the basic action of 2 attack, and then I'm going to boost it to 4 with my little marker, doohickey. And as long as I don't draw the nullifier, even that makes it a 3, but the poison makes it a 4 again. That's enough. Bing. Dead. Okay, so we successfully did the mission, and I think it ends immediately. Let me check. So I was supposed to go to 75.1. If either boss dies and the scenario goal is not fulfilled, the scenario is lost. So why am I not? Oh, it's because I gotta flip to the previous page. The scenario is complete when one boss is dead and characters and character summons have collectively dealt damage to the boss equal to at least half of its maximum hit point value, rounded up, at the end of the round. And characters includes enemies. So yeah, we're fine. So we accomplished it. The Frozen Fist is dead, so we're going to go to 22.1. Okay. Alright, I found it. And sorry, I'm peeking to see what the other one would have done. Okay, so it's interesting. I usually just spoil stuff, but in this case, I'm just going to simply say that the other way is going to be the exact opposite of what you're going to see here. Well, almost exact opposite. This is interesting. I'm fairly excited. So let's see. All right, so the we're going to 22.1.
The Ice Speaker Chief, his body immense and heavy, finally crashes into the ground. His frozen fists shatter like glass. For a moment, there is silence. You have helped us reclaim what is rightfully ours. A voice says. It's the Snow Speaker Chief, her brow bleeding, standing with the aid of her staff. Now, you must tell me why you did it. Seeing no alternative, you opt for honesty. You say that you've come here in response to the Ice Speaker attack on Frosthaven, on a mission to secure the town's safety. You'd hoped that by helping the Snow Speakers, you'd be able to broker some sort of alliance, or at least a truce. You're not sure how sincere this all sounds, with so much blood covering your clothes, but you do your best to put on a straight face. We have no quarrel with the human town, the Snow Speaker Chief says. In return for your aid, for now you will have no trouble from our tribe. Yet we cannot predict what the Ice Speakers will do. If you wish for safety, help us do away with these blasphemers once and for all. Before we came here, we spotted a group of Ice Speakers north of the Whitefire Wood. What they're doing there, we do not know, but they will launch a counterattack if we do not intervene. I charge you then, kill those who wish us harm, and we will see about his peace. Seeing peace within your grasp, you agree to the terms. Chief Lamprey! One of the Snow Speakers yells from the restless crowd. We do not need these soft, tiny creatures to defeat the Ice Speakers. Dare you is on our side. The chief wordlessly raises her chin. A menacing blue light grows around the tip of her staff, and the grumbles stop. She considers you again and comes to another decision. These warriors are here by the will of their youth, and it would be foolish not to use their aid. But one of our champions will aid them in this fight, as any good alliance requires both sides to be tested.
Okay, so the other one, obviously the Snow Dancer dies, and the chief, they're both chiefs. That's the problem. There's two different tribes here. So the other chief more or less says the same thing, and then you have no choice but honesty. And basically, somebody in the crowd says we can't trust these people. And just to keep it clear, because it was confusing for me, the chief we killed was with the group that was attacking Frosthaven. So if we would have gone the other path, we would have been trying to form an alliance or a truce with the people who really were attacking Frosthaven. And of course, so what you have in that situation is that they were very leery. But basically they agree to the same thing, and then the chief agrees to give you one of his, his people, and just like here, and yes, they tell you need to go do a mission to kill off the rest of the invaders, which now in this case we sided with the invaders, and so we're gonna go finish off the Algox that were attacking Frosthaven. I still don't know which one's better. We did unlock the class, and so we unlocked the Snow Dancer class, but we did not get the Fist class. I have no idea which one's better, because I don't have the insight, of knowing all the characters yet. So for good or bad, that's what we did. We did unlock Scenario 5, so our little advent calendar thing is going to happen. And then it says we need to go to 63.1. So I don't know if that's in here. Yep, here it is. 63.1 is exactly the same. So let's go ahead.
Finished with the Algox Mountain, you head back to Frosthaven to plan your next move. There you find Sather, speaking with a downtrodden populace, still reeling from the latest attack they barely survived.
A few new support beams here and there. Patch up some of the walls, and we'll be sure of snow in no time. You see,
She says with a wink.
the frost of fire in the world will keep us down for long.
Her enthusiasm is met with minimal recognition as the residents continue to sift through the rubble. You grab the mare long enough to make a report of your time with the Algox.
The sea have mercy.
She snorts, slightly surprised.
This internal struggle with the Algox explains a lot. But at least it sounds like you've made strong progress towards getting at least one group to stop attacking us, so that's something. If had some troubling developments of our own while you've been gone.
The mayor continues.
Some of the watchmen have reported lurkers of all things on the outskirts of the territory. I reckon since you made it safely back to town, you might go out and check on those damn crabs for me. Better to get a handle on them before they show up at our door.
She punches you on the arm and then begins to walk away.
Oh, actually,
She stops and turns back.
there was one more thing. A scouting party came back recently and reported seeing some strange metal constructs marching through the wastes. The scout tracked them east through the Whitefire Wood and then into some frozen valley, but couldn't follow them beyond that. So you might as well have a look at that too.
You rub some of your bruises from the Orgox altercation and nod.
Good.
Sapper chirps.
And while you're doing that, we'll keep rebuilding the town. I'm sure you can already tell, but the north isn't exactly hospitable, so we need to get Frosthaven back on its feet as soon as we can. That means we need all the resources we can find. So while you're out there, see if you can collect some lumber, metal, and hides to help us out. God willing, we'll be able to rebuild this outpost before winter, because if we don't, then there's no hope for any of us.
Alright, so the voice acting's a little over the top there, but that's alright. I still prefer that over reading. And as you can see, it actually shows the rewards, which this is actually a nice touch. Gain a morale and a prosperity, and then we unlocked scenario 7, 8, and then we add 156.1 to the calendar in 4 weeks. So I was busy punching out 5, because we unlocked 5 as well. I just did 7, and I'm doing 8 right now, and then I'll show you everything as soon as I'm done here. Alright, so let me, I got sticker stuff all over my fingers. 1 second. I actually keep a little grocery bag next to me because I constantly have little pieces of garbage. So, and then I need to add 156.1. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. And it is cool because they darken whenever you're done. Alright, so lots to do all of a sudden. Somewhere here is my campaign sheet. Here it is. Okay, so let's get the morale and prosperity done first. So the prosperity finally does go up by 1. So you can see it's a big, there's a lot of prosperity checkboxes here. So I'm going to check the box. And so we just gained our first prosperity. And then the morale goes up by 1. And so we've been doing that here. So now I'm up to 6. Morale. And I'm going to go ahead and cross out the previous one. So we're up to 6. Not enough to change the defense value. And then it said add 156.1 to the calendar in 4 weeks. Now here's the part that's tricky. Do I start counting? Because technically I put an X here. But I'm going to assume 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put 156.1 there, right? Because I haven't quite gone back to town yet. So, although I just talked to somebody in town. So, that's the part, like, what's the timing on when do you put that X on the calendar? And I know some of you nerds like to correct me on focus. I really wish you would help out with this type of stuff, because this is the stuff that annoys me. So if the scenario is completed, we're supposed to gain resources from loot cards, get your check marks, read the scenario conclusion, which we're already way ahead, update the map, which we need to do, then return to Frosthaven for an outpost phase, which, passage of time, I'm going to say no, because the passage of time is the first thing you do at the outpost phase, and we're at scenario conclusion. So I think I did it properly. It goes there. But we got to do our check marks still, and then we'll do the outpost phase. I'm at 1 hour and 24. I'm going to go ahead and try to do the outpost phase in this video Actually, no, we should wait because some of you guys actually want to see an outpost phase so you can learn the rules for those. So without having to watch, the scenario. So yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. Let's do our check marks real quick. So let's start with the Bone Shaper. I failed to get cleaner. I did not collect 3 loot tokens, so I'm going to put that back in the pile. That's a brutal one. I didn't like that one at all. We've already collected all of our loot. So you can see here we're at 6 gold. We get... I got to open up that app. Let's see. The Bone Shaper is at 2 experience points. Is that all she ever has? She only summoned 2 skeletons. Yeah. So that's 2, and then gets 6 more for the mission. So we're going to add 8 more. So I'm going to do a plus 8 here for experience. And then I didn't do either of these, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Didn't get a perk. She's 1 checkbox away, but not quite. Alright, then the next one is the Bone Shaper. Banner Spear. She got 6, so plus 6 more. They're going to add 12 more experience for this one. It's currently sitting on no gold. Doesn't have a lot of loot. Yeah, not doing real great, is she? But attack at least 3 enemies with each of 3 different area of effect attack abilities. So we were going to do the pincer. We did the side one. We came close. We came close, but we didn't do it. And then a banner summon, keep it alive, and within 3 of you for the entire scenario. Again, didn't happen. Let's see. And yeah, failed to get her combat objective as well. So, no dice there. Next is Mr. Rapture himself. Let's see here. He has 8. Nope, that's Drifter. 2 experience points plus 6. So he just got 8 more. And he did not declare fast for 7 turns. Was he targeted? Yes, he was. And he did complete his ability, so he got another checkbox. So we got another perk going to this one. So he's unlocked 2 perks already. I sort of like this little character. It's a fun one to do, even though it was labeled hard. Okay, so my usual strategy is I always want to get rid of negative cards, and then replace a negative with a positive is a perfect perk. This one gets rid of a negative and replaces it with a 0 and wound card. To be honest, they're both, unless they're immune to wounds, they're both very similar. And so both of these are like top priority for me because I like getting rid of negative cards. Having a combat deck with nothing but positive cards makes you powerful. Now, these other ones down here where you get rid of the +1s and give them a +2s, that's just pudding. This one, adding a negative to get a time card, I don't like at all. It'll be one of the last ones I choose. The time cards are nice, but not that nice. Like this one is great. There's not a lot to complain about there, but again, it's pudding. Now, whenever you short rest, you may spend 1 unspent item for no effect to refresh a different spent item. At the start of your first turn, each scenario, you may perform a move 3. Whenever you would gain immobilize, prevent it. So these are his special abilities. I'm going to go with let's just keep making his deck better. So the wound one is a decent idea. Because he has a card that all wounded characters take 2 damage. But I'm going to do the replace a -1 with a +1. And then there's 2 of them here. So that means, we could do this twice. But we're doing it the one time here. We got to unlock another perk to do it a second time. So we're going to go through. And each character loses their... So like this -1 leaves the deck, and then this -1 was for the scenario. And I'm just looking for the other scenario one. There it is. So we got the scenario ones out of the way. And then let's see if the +1 is actually in his private deck here. It should be. And right there it is. So we're going to add a +1 to his pool. And I got some sleeves over here. Just need to grab one. Alright, so we sleeve that guy up, and then he's ready for prime time. Alright, so this is what makes his deck nice, is we've currently gotten rid of 2 of the negative cards. One of them being the worst, and then of course that was just a scenario specific thing. And in this case, we got rid of a negative and added a positive. So from a statistical perspective, the chances of us getting a good draw improve greatly. I mean, it improves greatly anytime you get rid of a negative card. That by itself improves it, but getting rid of a negative and adding a positive improves it twice. Not twice as much, but I don't know, somebody brighter than me can do the math on that, but it definitely improves it. So it's just a matter of the total population is what, 15 cards? Anyways, let's not figure it out. So there we go. That's done. And then the next one is the Drifter. So right here, never perform a move or attack ability with a value less than 4, and perform at least 1 move or attack ability each round. So the reason I didn't achieve that, although I did do 4 each round, is the very first turn I played both of these cards, and I didn't actually do a move or an attack on the very first turn. Otherwise, I think I would have gotten this. So he actually gets 2 check marks. So we're going to go ahead and do that. The Drifter did kill the boss. So I was able to get one of each, kill 1 or more enemies of each monster type. So I was actually able to do it. So now we get a perk. So same one, get rid of a negative, add a positive. Get rid of the -2 and add a 0. I think overall this is a better one than this one. Replace a +1 with 2 + 0, and then move one of your character tokens backwards. So it's all, you know, replace 2 0 cards with 2 Pierce 3. There's a lot of good cards here. Ignore item -1 effects and add +1. So that means you can have the armor that gives you a -1. So you can now take that and you can ignore the -1 effect. That's really good. What is that item? I know we have it in the shop here. Let me find it real quick. It's a crafting item, I think. Here it is. So the crude hide armor. See, on the next 2 attacks, the attacker gains disadvantage. But see that -1 there on the bottom left corner? So I would be able to ignore that if I spend 2 hide. I happen to have 0 hide with this character, so it's not going to be as helpful right away. But that is a decent skill. Right here, ignore the scenario effects and add a +1 card. So I would have been able to ignore the 2 -1s and a +1's just always added. That's pretty good. Don't underestimate that one. Whenever you long rest, you may move one of your tokens backwards. You may bring 1 additional attack item into each scenario. That is an interesting one. I need money though. At the end of each scenario, you may discard up to 2 loot cards, except random item, to draw that many new ones. Interesting. So instead of just taking the item, so if I want to try to get that random item or whatever, that's not a bad deal. But you got to get the combat deck improved. So let's get rid of that -2. The -2 is dreadful. when you draw one of those. And I know the -1 suck too, but getting rid of the -2 is a glorious thing. So I'm just going through the deck real quick. I'm getting rid of the scenario cards too. Alright, so here's the 2 scenario cards. And I don't know where I'm going to put all these, but like this -2, obviously these are all part of combat deck discards. They're real easy to sort because you can see the bottom number here. So this is for Blink Blade, that's for... I'm just going to go ahead and put them off to the side here. And then we replace it with a +0. I know that's not very exciting or thrilling, but the +0 is better than a negative. So that still improves our deck. Because a +0 decreases the odds of drawing a -1. Because now we have an extra chance of getting the +0. Now you could argue that the getting rid of the -1 and adding the +1, it does similar things. In all honesty, they're both awesome. Which one is the higher priority? I don't know. I can just tell you that a -2 is more devastating to draw than a -1. So I would rather get rid of the -2 and have another +0 out there than have an extra +1. Even though that extra +1 is going to be nice. Alright, so that's it for the check marks. We added the morale, we added the prosperity. We are definitely going to be leveling up some of the characters. I don't think all 4 are going to level up. I think we're really close. You need 45 experience points. Oh, we got to get the experience points in. The Drifter had a lot. He had 8. So he's going to add 14 more. I'm fairly certain the Drifter is going to be leveling up. Let's see, 28, 38. Oh no, none of them's leveling up. 28, 38. Oh my gosh, he's 1 experience point away from leveling up. Yeah, so I don't think we're leveling up again, which that part stinks. But we'll take care of that in the town phase, and thanks for watching. Stay awesome.